Week 17.
Hey everyone, I'm Heather. Welcome back to my week-by-week pregnancy journal. Check out the description area for a quick breakdown of this video if you just want to skip around to a certain topic or see how my bump is progressing. Week 17 I feel like was a huge week for me. Lots of things happened, lots of changes, and number one thing is that I felt the baby move this week. So I'll get into that a little later. The baby is the size of about a pomegranate, and they also say maybe about the size of the palm of your hand. About 5 inches and 5 ounces. Development this week, the brain is now actually regulating the baby's heart rate, and the baby's also practicing sucking and swallowing movements, which probably he's sucking his little thumb inside my little wound right now. I think by the end of 17 weeks, they'll have fully developed fingerprints and toe prints, but not yet. How am I feeling physically? Well, my husband and I have gotten back into the gym more than recently, and that's definitely boosted my mood, how I'm feeling physically and emotionally. I know that they talk about, endorphins being released and everything, but it's true. If you haven't been back to the gym by now, just make it a point to do something, like be active, because especially if you're feeling down on yourself about, the gradual weight gain, or if it's gaining a little bit faster for you and you're feeling a little looser and mushier in certain places, especially, the thigh and hip area where a lot of us tend to gain more of the weight, which we try to just direct it onto our bellies. It made me feel overall better, and I said to my husband, I was like, thank you for going with me, because I just feel like I'm normally happy anyway, but I feel like happier inside and mentally too. So get back to the gym, do something if you haven't already, because it changes your mood drastically. Symptoms this week, I've noticed that bottomless pit feeling of hunger has kind of disappeared. When I told my husband this, he kind of laughed at me. But at one point, from not eating really anything and not having an appetite to all of a sudden like craving things and wanting everything and just feeling like my dinner plate could never end and I could just keep eating. But, I guess other people have their own opinions. My husband. I feel like I'm in control more of what I'm eating and when I'm eating, and it's not just random cravings and things that I have to fulfill all the time. Another symptom, and I've kind of been dealing with this earlier in the pregnancy too, but it's definitely gradually gotten worse, is that stabbing, shooting feeling of pain in my lower back. I'm pretty sure it's related to like sciatic pain or some sort of nerve, or it feels like a pinched nerve or something, because it's just like stabbing right in this one area about this big in my lower back to the right side. So I've definitely tried going back to the gym. My husband and I switched sides of the bed. I felt like, they say laying on your left side most of the time is better for pregnancy, but I'm actually now laying on my right side to kind of balance that out, and then maybe after 20 weeks is when they suggest laying on your left side more. So I'm doing that. I stretch every morning, mostly in bed, like, I forget the yoga poses, but I just kind of I think it's like a cow pose or a cat or something, and then I lay down with my knees bent up to my chest, and I kind of have my arms out and kind of stretch side to side for at least 5 to 7 minutes in the morning and kind of turn. I have noticed that it's eased up a tiny bit, and I think maybe it was just switching sides of the bed, but it would be like I get out of bed, and when I would transfer my weight to my right leg, it would just zing right up my back. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this. I've looked into it, and it does start around this time that women experience this back pain. I do have scoliosis, so that could be contributing to it. I normally occasionally have back pain, but it's never so deep and powerful of, kind of not take your breath away, but take your step away. Like, you just can't balance yourself on it because it hurts so bad. They say other things to manage that is a heating pad, and you can also take a bath, and obviously, like massage and stuff like that. This week I also looked more into, or maybe I came across it in one of the apps, is round ligament pain. And I've heard people talk about it, and I just thought, I don't know what that is. Maybe I don't have it. But turns out after reading into it and seeing what is round ligament pain, I have experienced it. It's not severe or debilitating or anything, but it's on the lower sides of your abdomen, and it's the ligaments that, I guess support your uterus, and as it grows they stretch, so you get this tight little zing of pain, and usually it's with quick movements or twists and stuff like that. And I always thought oh my gosh, maybe I just did something wrong and I got this weird feeling, but I just attributed it to things are moving and growing. But that's round ligament pain, and I guess for some people it's worse than others. It's like very occasionally that I do feel it, not like a bother or anything. I've definitely noticed more of an increase in congestion, especially in my sinuses, and more like, I mean, you can't even say it the other way, more boogers in my nose. Like in the morning, I just, you know, more stuff that you have to clear out of your nose in the morning. Saline spray is really great for that, so I do keep that by the bed. I got a new one because the last one that I had, when I had like a lot of nasal congestion, I was actually sick, so I was like, I'm not going to use that one again. I don't want to squirt anything back up in there. So I bought a new saline spray, and that just helps me kind of wake up and clear my sinuses in the mornings. I know I said it in the past weeks, but my boobs are definitely growing, and they're a lot plumpier this week. I definitely noticed, and then, you know, some little tiny nipple growths. And it's not much, but it's just, you're used to looking at your body every day when you get in the shower, so you notice the tiniest, slightest changes. Yeah, so, you know, I was waiting for that to happen, so they are plumping up now. And the most exciting symptom, well, I don't know if you would call it a symptom, but just like an experience of pregnancy, is that I felt the baby move for the first time. I was 17 weeks and 5 days along, and throughout like the last week it was kind of going through my head, and you know, you have those like gas bubbles that everyone experiences, and then, well, some people are like, well, that's it, and it's like, no, I know it's not it, because soon after, you know, gas passes and you know that, okay, well, maybe it wasn't it. But this was a different feeling. It wasn't like the flutter that everybody says that you experience. It was honestly like little kicks. And I guess more of a way to explain it is it felt like I was trying to convince myself, is it muscle twitches or like a muscle spasm? Because that's what it kind of felt like too. I'm like, well, I don't know, my uterus is getting bigger, like, does it twitch like that? Or is that a kick? Like, is that the baby moving? So that happened later at night. I was laying in bed with my husband, and I called him in, and I had him sit at the edge of the bed while I was just laying flat in bed, and I was like, I think I feel the baby moving. Maybe this is it. I had said something to him before, but not so confident about it. I mean, I wasn't confident this time either, but so he sat there smiling, and then I felt it again, and then, you know, I guess you know when you know, and like my eyes started tearing up, and I was like, I really think that like that's what it is. And then I just must have laid here for about an hour and a half. I went on YouTube, I looked up baby first movements, and I came across a bunch of videos, and it was like 16 weeks baby moves, and it's just, you know, a woman holding the camera, facing down towards her stomach, and you just wait, and you see like little, like, boop, or like a roll or something. It's nothing drastic, like when the baby's bigger and you see it drag across her stomach. So I was like, well, I'm laying here, let me just start my video camera because I feel it thumping around a little bit in there. And I probably videoed for about 7 minutes, but I'll show you this one little clip. You can actually see the baby move, and my husband didn't get to see it, but thankfully I had this little video to show him, and that really confirmed it to me that like, that was what I was feeling, like it was the baby moving, and I just literally fell in love on spot. Up until like that point that I felt it move, and I said to my husband, I feel like it's not gonna feel real, or I'm not gonna be able to attach until I feel a movement. And it honestly, I mean, that's how it was for me. Once I felt that movement, I just fell in love, and I just feel so bad that my husband can't feel it yet, but he will be able to feel it eventually, and he'll feel exactly the same way. But I think him knowing that I'm feeling it is just a great feeling. Cravings this week, definitely pickles, my kosher dill pickles, and pickle juice. I also picked up from the store a package about this big, and it was pickled ginger. That was amazing. I probably ate the whole container. My husband likes it too. I love sushi, and we're always the people that get extra ginger and extra wasabi, and I devoured that whole pack of ginger in probably 4 days, maybe less. But that was really good. And then I also find myself craving like Bloody Mary mix, and there's this one specific Bloody Mary mix. If it's in the stores near you, it's called Ubon's, and we have a store called ShopRite around where we live. I'm not sure if that's, you know, throughout the country, but ShopRite sells it, and it's called Ubons, U-B-O-N-S, and it's the best Bloody Mary mix if you're a Bloody Mary mix person. How has my body changed this week? Definitely my belly is noticeable now. Patients at work definitely notice it. I've had a couple coworkers that, you know, I normally don't work with. They work on other floors, come up, and they don't really know how to word it, but you're pretty sure, and you know, you don't want to approach somebody saying, did you gain weight? But I had one or two people come up to me and ask that question. I'm like, yeah, I'm 17 weeks along and blah, blah, blah. It's definitely noticeable enough through, you know, the kind of scrubs that I wear because they're more fitted. You can see a little belly now, a definite little belly. Another thing is when I lay in bed and I'm kind of relaxed and not sucking in, but you know, I haven't eaten yet, so my upper like stomach isn't really full. You can actually see the outline of my uterus. But that's crazy. Just seeing that video is like, oh my gosh, that's my uterus. It's coming, it's up out of my pelvic area now, and you can kind of feel it, and it's like, oh my god, that's the baby's little sack. Like, that's his little home right there. It freaks my husband out because I'm so into everything, and I like exploring my new body, or like my body changes, and I'm enjoying it so much, and I think I just creep him out sometimes, like, oh, look at this, oh, look at my belly, look what it can do. But I'm preparing him for, you know, the whole birthing process, and when his little hands are gonna stick out of my stomach. Hopefully, I hope that that happens, because I'll get a kick out of it. Another body change that just blows my mind is how my nipples just grew out of nowhere. But again, it's not like a ton, but just little changes that you're like, oh, there's a little change. And that line that you get down the middle of your belly when you're pregnant, I am somewhat developing that. I think I've always kind of had it, and some people do have it. It's called linea negra, but it's getting a little darker and more noticeable. Weight gain, if I'm going by my normal weight that I started out, you know, before dropping weight in the beginning of pregnancy, I'm up about 3 pounds. If I go from the weight that I lost around month 2 to now, I'm up about 8 pounds or so. I'm gonna say for my normal weight, I'm up 3 pounds at this point. My waist, I'm keeping track of my measurements all over because I want to know where my weight is being distributed. I did gain, you know, maybe a ½ an inch in my thighs, which is not what I want to see, but we'll kind of try and maintain that by going to the gym and doing leg exercises. But my waist has gained a total of maybe 2½ inches, and at this point my underbelly measurement is about 2½ inches also. So they're kind of like catching up to each other. In the beginning, under my belly was way ahead by like a whole inch versus my waist, but now everything's kind of rising and pushing up. My waistline is slowly disappearing. How am I feeling emotionally? I'm pretty much feeling great about everything in every area, just slowly accepting all the changes, trying not to let anything get me down, and staying happy and positive. I'm just really happy that I'm finally feeling attached and, you know, being able to bond more with the baby from feeling the movements, and then also being able to show that little clip of the baby moving to my husband and to his family and to my family, and seeing my mom's reaction and my dad's reaction, because it just makes it feel more real to everybody, even my brother's reactions. Like, emotionally, it just makes me feel like I'm on cloud infinity million, cloud 9, but like times a billion. So what did we do this week? We do these videos on Saturdays, so on Tuesday in the beginning of this week, I felt the need, because it's been probably about 2.5 weeks since my last appointment, I just felt the need to do the fetal Doppler again. So we listened and we heard the baby's heart rate, and all is good and strong. This was before I felt the baby kick. So all of last week and the beginning of this week up until Thursday, my big thing was I can't wait for the baby to move. And I was just kind of obsessing over that, like, when is it going to happen? Because everybody was like, it'll happen soon, like it'll happen in the next few weeks, and then you're just anticipating it, and like, it's like a waiting game. So this week also, I've been thinking more about maternity clothing. I did end up going on Amazon and I ordered this pack of 2 belly bands. It's a white one and a black one, and it was under $20. So I think that's a pretty affordable price, and they had good reviews. So I'll put a link down below of what I purchased, and then I'll give you an update of how I feel about it next week. So I stopped by my one friend's house, and she got me a couple things I just want to show you because I think they're really cute. One thing was these just born ties. They're stick and snap, so it's little ties that you put on your baby and you take a photo with them. It's just you know, like, I can smile, and it's how many months old they are. So that's just really cute and easy. Another thing that she got me was this cute little sack. It's got a little hood, and it's basically just, you know, you just slip your baby right in there. And it's like a little, kind of like a little blanket. Not a swaddler or anything, it's just, you know, an extra layer of fabric, like a blanket that will stay on the baby. Just kind of a little sack to keep them warm. And it's got cute little buttons on the sides. Also, we went to my niece's first birthday party, and as a little favor, she got all the kids' little books. She thought of the baby in my belly, and she wrote, "Baby Hot Nikki, I can't wait to meet you. Thanks for coming to my first birthday party. Love, Ella." So that's from my niece to the baby. And it's like a finger puppet book. So each page that you turn, it's got a little dancing puppet in the middle. And I think they have multiple animals. How cute is that? And another exciting thing, I had a casting director reach out to me to see if I would like to be part of this pregnancy documentary series, and I'm in the process still of, you know, whether I am the final pick or not, but that is very exciting. I spoke with the producer, and fingers crossed, we'll see what happens with that. What's comforting to me this week? Definitely sleep. A lot of people have suggested get your sleep in now, because once the baby comes, you will not be able to get it. And that's referring to myself and also my husband. So he's like, yeah, I should kind of take that into consideration and, you know, get the sleep while I can, because in the next 6 or so months may not be very peaceful anymore. Other things that are comforting: long, warm showers. It's kind of like a massage on the back of my head. Just let the water run. Stretching in the morning and getting back to the gym. Those are all things that are my main comforts right now. I'm losing my breath kind of when I'm speaking. That's a symptom. So add that to the symptoms. Also, I feel kind of like very forgetful at times. Like, just forget where I start and need to pick up again. They say that that's, you know, they say that,
They say that's again. What's that word again? I forgot what that word is. Clumsy word?
They say that it's proven that something goes on in your body when you're pregnant and it makes you more forgetful. It's not a lie, I read it.
I don't know.
I'll read it to you when I find it.
Yeah, good luck finding it. You're gonna forget to find it.
And also, I mentioned earlier, but my other thought is just about getting maternity clothing. I looked on the website for Target because I remember seeing in store that they had some cute stuff, but getting maternity clothing, I think, isn't something you really can order online. I think you just have to go and try things on. And then you also have to consider that your belly's going to grow drastically in the next 6 months. Or, you know, 5-6 months, however far along you are. I don't know really how the sizing works. I think it's you get your normal size, and because of the belly bands and how the clothing is different with the ruching and stuff, I think you just purchase your normal size and there's just extra area there for you to grow into. But once I do that and I make my first maternity clothing purchase, I'll let you know how it feels and how they fit. So under my list of things that I'm looking forward to this week was definitely feeling the baby move, but that happened. So check that off. And then the other thing that I was really looking forward to this week is starting to think about the nursery and like cleaning it out. I think my mind is slowly, you know, telling me when I'm ready to do things. So that thought crossed my mind, like, okay, well, maybe in the next week or so we'll start to clean it out. Not like rush to get it done or anything right now, but just start that process and slowly work our way into completely changing the one room in our house. Things that make me nervous or scared, still the vaginal discharge, and, you know, always feeling that urge to go and check and make sure that everything's okay. Especially the thought that I am B negative blood type, which the last appointment that we were at, the midwife had said to me that, you know, if you have any sort of bleeding at all, you have to come in right away so that we can give you the RhoGAM shot. So I think I've been just not more attentive, because I've been attentive with that, like just kind of checking and making sure that that feeling with the vaginal discharge is not anything other than normal, you know, no blood tinged or pink or reddish tint at all. And knock on wood, everything's good. Things my husband is scared of is everything that I do when I touch my belly or do anything. He thinks that I'm poking it too hard, that I shouldn't push my belly out. Don't touch it, don't do that, you're gonna hurt him. It's not a dog, you can't just tease it. I don't think that's gonna hurt anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong muscle.
Yeah. Your uterus is a strong organ, or muscle, whatever you want to call it. Thanks again for watching my video. That's my recap of week 17. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And now let's take a look at how my bump is progressing. Alright, so this is week 17, first day of week 18. My little bump that's popping. But it's definitely... And I'm videoing this more towards the end of the day, so...